experts. Philsci Hub Research University will be your personal coach through every stage to final assessment.
And the best part, it's absolutely free.
Visit us at philscihub.com and be part of this learning journey.
Let's learn and succeed together here at Philsci Hub Research University. Welcome to Philsci Hub Research University, your ultimate guide on your next research project.
We will lay down the best practices in research ideation, literature review, experimental design, and data analysis to guide you as you carry out your research project. Learn from the Philsci Hub team of research scientists and some university will be your personal coach through every stage of your research project from ideation to final assessment.
And the best part, it's absolutely free.
Visit us at philscihub.com and be part of this learning journey.
Let's learn and succeed together here at Philsci Hub Research University.
Mabuhay! Welcome to the Filipino Science Hub. Thank you for your continued support to this online platform. To our new participants, thank you for checking us out today, and we would like to officially welcome you to the Philsci Hub family. Before we start the webinar, I would like to share some house rules in order to facilitate a smooth session. For our Zoom participants, we would appreciate it if you could turn your audio and video cameras off during the webinar. If you have questions or comments, feel free to type them on our Zoom chat box or YouTube live comments, and we will try to accommodate as much questions as possible. After the talk, we will have a 30-minute Q&A where the Zoom participants will have the opportunity to ask their questions live. For those who would like to receive a certificate of participation, a Google form link will be posted on our Zoom chat box, YouTube live comments, and YouTube video description towards the end of the webinar. Again, welcome to all our Zoom participants and YouTube live viewers. For those who are new and may not be familiar with who we are and what we do, allow me to share our mission and vision in the next few minutes. Filipino Science Hub is an online platform founded by our CEO, Filipino scientist, Dr. Jeffrey Camacho Bonquin back in 2012. Currently, we are a registered nonprofit organization based in Houston, Texas, United States. Our mission is to promote STEM education and the culture of research among students and teachers in the Philippines and abroad. Our current global leadership team is comprised of volunteer Filipino scientists, seasoned STEM educators, and business executives across the globe. Our vision is to see a technology and innovation-driven Philippines, and we believe that this can be achieved by creating a new generation of well-rounded Filipino STEM enthusiasts. The vision is being carried out via our two major programs, the Philsci Hub Ed program and the Philsci Hub Research University. Through Philsci Hub Ed, we are able to empower and support our teachers by strengthening STEM fundamentals education. We believe that this is important because the more equipped our STEM educators are, the more they can inspire students to pursue a career in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The other major program that drives our vision forward is Philsci Hub Research University. This is where we provide tools for fundamentals of research and bring practicing scientists closer to the educational sector. Our official website is www.philscihub.com. This is where you can access all our materials such as webinars, tutorials, modules, virtual lab, and features, all of which are free. We are also present in several social media platforms, so follow us wherever you are most active on to get updated with our web events. Again, thank you for being with us this morning. To officially start our webinar, I would like to turn the virtual floor over to our host today.
Alright, magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Naririnig niyo po ba ako? Zeus, can you guys hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Alright, magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Jeffrey Buntin, founder and current Chief Executive Officer of Filipino Science Hub. So, medyo matagal-tagal po kaming nawalan ng free webinars, but nagbabalik po kami ulit. Sa araw pong ito, we're actually giving you or delivering the first installment of our, let me just share my screen, I forgot to share it. Chemistry Essential Skills webinar series. So this is a 3-part webinar series on thought processes that students, educators, and practitioners of chemistry can apply beyond the classroom. So medyo iba na po yung atake natin ngayon sa pag-train ng ating mga Filipino students and educators. So we don't just hold training programs to teach you chemistry topics or science topics. We are focusing on the skill. So it's always a question of, upon learning a particular STEM subject matter, what transferable skills can you take from it and apply outside of the classroom? And so for our first installment of this portfolio of training programs, we're focusing on chemistry, and over the next months, we are going to train you on the essentials of problem solving. In November, we are going to focus on quantitative skills. And in December, our last installment for this series will focus on abstract thinking. The second and the third installments would actually be contextualized around the concepts of stoichiometry and quantum chemistry. So siguro po, magtatanong nga po ako sa ating mga audience members, sino po ba dito ang mga guro? Paki-thumbs up nga po ng mga guro sa atin sa audience members para meron po kaming idea ng ating demographic. Sino po sa atin ang mga guro? Alright, so meron tayong mga guro, and then may mga students naman po of chemistry. Sino po dyan ang mga estudyante? Alright, okay, so medyo 3 buwan po tayong magsasama-sama, and we are very fortunate to have a Filipino chemist and educator to deliver all these contents. But before we proceed and move on to his introduction, I would also like to acknowledge and thank a charitable organization that's based in the San Francisco Bay Area. This event or this webinar series is actually sponsored by them. And I'm talking about the Batangas City Santo Niño Devotees Association of Northern California. So they are the ones who are responsible for making this webinar series possible. All right, so at this point, I would like to introduce our speaker. So our speaker for today is Professor Chester Lara Dabalos. So Dr. Dabalos graduated with a bachelor's degree in agricultural chemistry from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. So he graduated cum laude, and he was top 1 in the Professional Regulations Commission's chemistry licensure examination in the same year. Shortly after that, after teaching in UP as a chemistry laboratory instructor for a couple of years, he then went on and took up his Master's of Philosophy in Chemistry at Cambridge University. And then after that, he went on and pursued his doctorate degree in chemistry at the University of Hawaii, where he is also now a chemistry educator. So at this point, it is a great honor to introduce to you our speaker for today and my personal mentor in chemistry, Dr. Chester Lara Dabalos. Sir Chester?
Salamat, Jeffrey, sa iyong napaka-warm na introduction, and sa ating mga masugid na taga-subaybay. Maraming salamat po, at hopefully, this session will become a very will actually ignite, okay, the flame of, really problem solving. Ito ay sa tingin ko kasi ang problem solving, ito yung parang nahihirapan ng mga estudyante. Pero pag in-approach natin ito systematically, I think, you would actually enjoy the process. So, sige, uumpisahan na po natin ang ating pagtatalakay. So, bubunutin ko na po ang aking slides for today. Okay, so hopefully nakikita natin lahat. So, teka lang, is a slideshow ko from the beginning. Okay. Oops. Nakikita niyo po ba?
Yes. But at the end of the presentation po. So could you press 1 on your keyboard?
Oops. So,
1 and N.
Teka, saglit. Hindi ko nakikita yung aking slides, Jeff.
Okay, if you could press could you press escape po or stop sharing
Okay.
on Zoom?
Okay, tapos isi-share screen ko.
And try it again.
So share. Tapos I have to go to slide from the beginning.
Yep.
Hindi ko nakikita yung
Kasi it's the end. When you go there po, you just see the black screen, Kuya Chester. So you press 1 on your keyboard and then enter. Kasi it's at the end of your presentation.
Yep. Okay. So from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but then yeah.
Press 1.
Just press 1. Or arrow left.
Arrow dash. Oh, sorry.
No problem.
Saglit lang. I think, teka, balik tayo. Then share screen. Share. Then I think I need to move. So slideshow from the current slide.
Yep.
Ayaw.
End of slideshow. Could you press 1 on your keyboard?
Okay. Ayan.
Yep.
Ayan. In-scroll ko na.
Alright.
Okay. Nako, pasensya na po.
No problem.
Ayun. So, sorry. Ayan. Nakita nyo na po ang aking kapalpakan. Pero, babawi po ako. Okay? So, ayan. So, welcome everyone to our presentation entitled "The Basic Strategies in STEM-Related Problem Solving." Okay, so ayun, tatanong ko muna sa inyo. Habang nag-lecture ako, gusto kong nagpa-participate ang audience. Kung may tatanungin ako, you are free to unmute yourself and maybe give me the answer. Okay.
So, and siguro po, Sir Chester,
yes.
would you also recommend that they get a calculator?
Oh, of course. Kung meron kayong scientific calculator dyan sa tabi ninyo, mas kanais-nais kasi kasi ngayon ipapakita namin sa inyo ang kahalagahan din ng arithmetic sa pagsosolve ng science-related problems. So kung meron kayong scientific calculator, that's going to be, very desirable. Okay? So again, thank you po sa inyong pasensya sa aming technical. Well, it was my problem kasi in-scroll ko lahat kanina pababa. Okay. So umpisa na natin. So kung tatanungin niyo bakit mahalaga ang pagsosolve ng STEM-related problems. Okay? So actually, kung gusto niyo medyo umangat-angat sa buhay, actually most of the professions, okay, na mataas ang bayad usually require problem solving. Okay, kunwari, kung gusto niyo maging surgeon, okay, alam niyo naman ang surgeon, masalimuot na trabaho 'yan. So, kailangan iniisip ng surgeon kung paano i-solve yung say kung may blockage dun sa blood, kailangan niyang bigyan ng lunas. Okay? Another example is say sa abogasya, say paano kaya palulusutin ang isang kaso. Actually, that is also that is a problem solving skill. Tapos ang buhay actually sa katunayan maraming problema yan. Akala natin na say for example nung bata pa tayo, actually most of the problems are being solved by our parents. Pero pag lumaki na kayo, mararanasan nyo na marami talagang problema ang buhay and you need to really solve them. Actually, solving scientific problems will give us the soft skill para matagumpayan lahat ng mga pagsubok sa buhay. So say for example, paano nyo bayaran ang mga utility bills, or say for example, halimbawa din, I mean napakasimple, kung yung mga halaman nyo sa bakuran ay namatay, at gagawin nyo para buhayin ulit. Okay? So magbibigay ako ng halimbawa ng problem solving. Say, kunwari gusto nyong mamasyal patungong Boracay mula Maynila. Siyempre, sasabihin nyo sa akin, well, may basic problem naman yan, sir. Ano ang basic problem, sir? Wala kaming pamasahe. Well, kunwari, I mean, may nag-sponsor sa ating trip, tapos ng ganyan, babayaran nila. So, syempre, iisipin mo ngayon, ano yung means para makarating ka from, ano yung means para makapunta ka ng Boracay patungkong mula Maynila. So actually, nagagamitan yan ng problem solving. So lingid sa ating kaalaman, I mean, every day actually we need to actually solve problems. Say for example, papasok kayo sa eskwela, iisipin nyo, anong t-shirt ang gagamitin ko? Anong ipapares ko dito sa sa pantalon na ito? So those are actually, little problems that require some, some thinking process. And after thinking, makakakuha ka ng solusyon. Say for example, pinapares mo yung t-shirt mo at saka pantalon mo, kung sa tingin mo yung kulay ay hindi akma, sabihin mo napakabaduy naman ito, so papalitan mo. So actually that is a part of the thinking process, and pupwedeng by trial and error. So pupwedeng siguro hanggang 3 trial, then until sabihin mo, oh, bagay, match yung color, then by that time you are going to have a solution. Okay, tatanungin ko, paano nga pumunta patungong Boracay mula Maynila? So anyone who would answer my question? Siyempre, hindi naman tayo mangkukulam. Baka naman may magsabi sa atin, sir, I mean, you ride a broomstick. Well, I mean, hindi naman totoo yun, fantasy. So could someone, I mean, tell me how someone would go to Boracay from Manila? Ano ang means of transportation? Anyone? So baka naman may nakalagay sa chat. Ay, wala. That's correct. I mean, sabi ni Mark Benedict, I mean, through an airplane, yes. And aside from an airplane, anong po pwede nating mode of transportation? So say for example, I mean, kung namamahalan tayo sa airplane, pwedeng bus, okay, pwedeng bus pero may body of water. Okay, I mean, sabi ni Brainard Peter Liwanag, I mean, by boat or by ship, okay? Thank you very much. I mean, thank you very much for your participation. Ayan, I mean, gustong-gusto ko tong mga estudyanteng ito kasi kung nagle-lecture ang guro, kung nagtatanong yung guro tapos wala man lang sumasagot, nade-depress yung lecturer. Pero thank you very much. Okay, so through an airplane or ship. Okay, so pwede tayong sumakay ng PAL, Philippine Airlines, Asia Sunniest, or pwede naman yung to go. Okay, so either by airplane or ship. Okay. Actually, yung daan patungong Boracay mula Maynila ay hahalin tulad ko sa process in solving problems. So gumawa po ako ng acronym, okay, acrostic, okay, ng outlining the basic procedures in problem solving. And syempre yung airplane at saka ship, actually yung mga letters doon will represent something. Okay, so ang una kong gagawin is I will just quickly enumerate, okay, kung anong ibig sabihin ng mga letters ng airplane, tapos yung ship, and then i-apply natin to sa pagsosolve ng problems. Sa mga teachers, very pedagogic kasi yung gumagawa ka ng acronym kasi minsan ang mga students, well, kadalasan ay makakalimutin. So kung makakagawa ka ng parang acronym na parang maaalala nila tapos ma-relate nila sa pag-solve ng problems, ay nako, akmang-akma iyon. Okay, so airplane. So fly over your problems, di ba? Ang gandang pakinggan. So yung problems mo ay dapat it's not going to conquer you. So you're going to soar over your problems. Okay, so airplane. So ang letter A, okay, stands for annotate. Okay, so annotate key points. Huwag kayong mag-alala, ipapaliwanag ko sila isa-isa mamaya. I, illustrate the problem. R, required and given. P, principle applied. L, list equations. A, arithmetic. Okay, you include the units. And number sense. Okay, is the answer reasonable? E, examine, we check the solution again. Okay, so airplane. Okay, so each of the letters will represent a key step, okay, in solving the problem. Siyempre, may airplane tayo, may ship din. Okay, so ano nga ba tong ship? Okay, so siyempre ship sail through problems. Okay, so ship, okay, stands for S. Simplify the problem to something you know. Okay, so bale, gagawa ka ng connection, okay? H, hints, okay? So, ang hints ay mga clue, okay? So, you look for them. So, either my keywords or something given in the problem. Then I, invert, do problem backwards. And yung last, letter P, pattern recognition, okay? So, tandaan, airplane at ship, okay? So ang gagawin ko ngayon ay magsosolve tayo ng dalawang sample problems. Isa sa chemistry, okay, na may flavor din ng geometry, at saka pangalawa sa physics na may flavor ng algebra. Okay, so gusto kong ipahiwatig sa inyo na ang pagsosolve ng problem sa science ay nangangailangan, okay, nangangailangan ng mathematics. So hindi po pwedeng kakalimutan niyo yung mga napag-aralan niyo sa algebra. Kailangan actually dadalhin niyo lahat ng mga concepts, okay, sa algebra at i-apply ito sa chemistry at physics. So actually that is the scientific process. We need mathematics as a tool. Okay, so sa mga math teachers, kailangan yung i-emphasize ito sa mga estudyante ninyo na yung akala natin na say Pythagorean theorem ay sometimes nagagamit ito sa pagka-calculate ng mga distances ng mga atoms. Okay? Say yung quadratic equation, nagagamit ito sa pagsosolve ng mga problems sa chemical equilibrium. So, ang dami talaga. So, kaya kailangan natin pangalagahan ang ating mathematics background. Okay. So handa na ba kayo sa ating first problem? Okay. So problem number 1, okay? May problem tayo on chemistry. On chemistry na may pagka-geometry. Iinom muna po sa akong sandali. Okay? So yung problem, okay? Gold foils are used to adorn Thai pagodas. Okay? So sabi ni Jeffrey, baka may Thai participants tayo. So akmang-akma rin ito. The usual thickness of foil is 1.25 times 10 to the negative 4 mm. Okay? So sa mga teachers, nakita ninyo that I actually presented that number in the scientific notation. Okay? So calculate how many gold atoms must be lined side by side. Okay? So side by side to achieve the wafer thin thickness. Okay? the radius of a gold atom is 166 PM. Okay, so PM hindi ibig sabihin na PM na hapon. Okay, ang PM ay isang acronym po. So PM stands for picometers. Okay, tapos okay, after the problem, nakikita ninyo yung unit conversion dito. 1 picometer is equivalent to 1 times 10 to the negative 12 meters. And 1 mm or millimeter is equivalent to 1 times 10 to the negative 3 meters. Okay, so before I go further, gusto kong ipaliwanag tong conversion factor dito. Okay, so this is pico. Okay, so para pico, napakaliit na unit nito. Ang pico actually stands for 1 times 10 to the negative 12. So isipin natin na parang substitution ito. So pico stands for 1 times 10 to the negative 12. So bale, sinubstitute mo yung value. Okay? Then mm naman, m stands for milli. Milli is actually 1 times 10 to the negative 3. Okay? So nakikita nyo itong mga prefix na ito. Okay? It's just parang substitutional. Okay? Parang substitutional placement. Okay? So yung m dito, K meter, yun yung main na unit ninyo. Okay? So, maliwanag po ba yung problem before I go further? Any questions? Tignan ko nga yung chat. Okay? Thank you very much, Edson. So, yes, acronym increases retention. Salamat. Okay? Okay, so let's apply our method. Okay. Now, before we go sa application ng airplane method, so sabihin ko sa inyo ang ayaw na ayaw ko na ginagawa ng mga estudyante. So, okay, what not to do. Okay, so ayaw na ayaw ko na kukunin nyo na lamang yung mga numero at ano-ano na lang ang gagawin nyo. I-add mo sila, i-multiply sila. I don't like that. Nakikita nyo itong emoji na ito. Ako yan, pag nakita ko yung mga estudyante, ano-ano na lang ginagawa. So, nang gagaliiti ako sa galit or at saka pag nakita ko kayo sa corridor, suklaman ko kayo. Pero anyway, I mean, I trust that you are going to use the airplane method. Okay? So, umpisahan natin letter A. Okay? So, ito ulit yung airplane. Okay, so letter A, annotate key points. Ano ba itong annotate na to? So, nung unang panahon, kung kami ay nag-e-exam, usually it's printed. Ewan ko kung puro online na lang ngayon. Pero usually yan naka-print sa paper. When you say annotate, parang bibilugan mo, underline mo yung mga key statements doon sa problem. Okay, so annotate. Annotate ang tawag doon. Pwede ka rin naman kumuha ng highlighter, tapos i-highlight mo sila. Okay, so ang ginawa ko dito sa annotate, ginawa ko na lang bold fonts yung mga key statements. Okay, so ano yung mga key statements? So okay, yung thickness ng foil is 1.25 times 10 to the negative 4 mm. Mahalaga ito. So pag sinabi mong keywords, okay, very critical ito sa mga problem sa pag-solve ng problem. I mean, dapat binibigyan nyo ng atensyon. Okay? So another key point here is the radius of gold atom is 166 picometers. Okay? Ayan yung mga key points. So ang ibig sabihin, gagamitin nyo ang mga data na ito sa pag-solve ng problem. Okay? So letter A. Okay. Now, punta tayo sa letter I. Ano nga ba tong letter I na ito? Okay. So letter I is illustrate. Okay. Or another word of illustrate is sketch the problem. Okay. Now, sasabihin mo tatanungin mo sa akin, bakit kailangan yung i-sketch ang problem? Kasi yung problem na nakita nyo kanina in text form, in words. Yung mind natin na design actually na i-process ang mga figures much more faster than words. So yung text form parang i-drawing nyo siya. You illustrate it and sketch it. Okay? Actually, mas mag-work yung mind nyo. Pag in-sketch ninyo, mas mabilis yung processing. Okay? So, i-sketch natin. Okay? So, bale, itong mga pictures na ito, so ito yung, say, gold na, say, for example, kinagtad, then it become, pinukpok in order to make a very thin foil. Okay? Tapos, nagbigay ako ng, ang ginawa ko is, I represented the atom as something circular. Okay? So, ang given sa problem is actually yung radius ng atom. Okay? Tapos, kung sinabi sa problem, actually, side by side. Okay? So, yung atoms ay magkakadikit. So, dinikit-dikit ko sila. And pag dinikit-dikit mo sila ng ganyan, up to a certain extent, sila yung length na yun ay yung magiging thickness ng foil. Okay? So, kung gusto yung bigyan ko kayo ng analogy, okay? Kunwari, ito yung kunwari yung mga gold atoms ay, say, yellow beads. Okay? So, magkakadikit sila ng ganyan. Okay? So, ayan, may radius ka, may diameter ka, and then this whole length would actually represent the thickness of a foil. Okay? Sabihin ni Jeffrey, it's very Chester kasi may mga beads na naman. Oh, mahilig talaga ako ng beads kasi it actually represents atoms. Okay? So, you sketch the problem. Okay, so ini-sketch na natin. Okay. Next is, titignan natin kung ano yung required at saka ano yung given. Okay, so mahalagang alamin natin yung required kasi grade-gradean kayo ng teacher kung na-meet nyo yung objective na yon, kung ano yung required. Hindi naman po pwedeng a-answeran nyo na lang ng ano-ano. So what is required? So bibigyan ko kayo ng parang analogy. Kunwari, pumunta kayo sa Jollibee, nag-order kayo, okay? Nag-order kayo ng Chicken Joy. E pag binigyan kayo ng binigyan kayo ng say French fries, syempre maiinis kayo kasi iba naman yung in-order niyo. So parang ganoon. So kailangan alamin niyo yung required. So yun yung parang quote and quote order ng teacher. Kung hindi nyo binigay yung order, naku, lagot kayo, mamaminosan kayo. I mean, kung ako ayan, nakahanda ng ang aking red ball pen, magmaminos na lang ako ng points. Okay? So kailangan alamin yung required. So ano yung required sa problem na ito? How many gold atoms? Okay? Ilan atoms ng gold ang kailangan malinya side by side to achieve that thickness, okay? So ano nga ba yung thickness? So given yon. So it is in bold font, 1.25 times 10 to the negative 4 mm, okay? Tapos ano pa yung isang given, okay? Yung radius ng gold atom which is 166 picometer. Kasi so alamin natin kung ano yung required, okay? Kadalasan, kung physics ito, sometimes mas marami pa yung given. Sa ating problem, we only have 2 givens, but say kung pumunta na kayo sa physics, usually maraming given yan. So, ang gagawin ko, I'm going to enumerate the given. Okay? So, say for example, VF equals this value, VI, TF, TI. So, i-enumerate ninyo. So, pero mga 2 o 3, okay lang na hindi. Pero pag madami na, kailangan nyong i-enumerate. Okay? May tanong po ba? Tignan ko yung chat. Oh, ayan. Thank you very much, Mikhail. So, most learners are visual. Okay? So, tama yan. So, kailangan yung i-sketch. Okay? Tuwang-tuwa ako sa mga participants ngayon. Okay, so that's letter R. Now, punta tayo sa principle. Okay, so anong principle ang gagamitin nyo sa problem na ito? So, ang gagawin ko ngayon is actually magbibigay ko ng analogy. So, babalik ako doon sa bead necklace. Okay? Kunwari, okay, so kailangan ng 18 inches na length ng necklace. Okay? Say yung bead, okay, yung yellow bead, ang diameter niya ay 0.25 inches. Okay? So tatanungin ko, how many beads are required? How many beads are required? Okay? Kulang yung naisulat ko. Are required to have an 18 inches of a bead necklace. Okay? So papaano nyo isosolve yun? Anyone? Say for example, kailangan ko ng 18 inches, okay, na necklace. Yung diameter ng bead ay 0.25 inches per bead. Anyone who would do a calculation? Sinong nakapag-calculate? Hello? Anyone who has done a calculation? Okay, so kung ayaw ninyo, nandito na sa slides. Okay, so 18 inches, okay, yun yung numerator mo, divided by 0.25 inches per bead. Okay? Okay, so kung titignan natin yung units, okay, so 18 inches, yun yung haba, okay, divided by 0.25 inches per bead. Okay? So yung inches ay magka-cancel, okay? So meron kang bead doon sa sa denominator ng denominator. So parang itong 1 divided by 1 divided by x, okay? Which is going to be x, di ba? So 18 divided by 0.25, meron kang 72 beads. Tingnan natin yung chat. Baka may nag-answer na. Okay, that's right. So 18 inches divided by 0.25. Thank you very much, Micaela. Okay. Okay, so yun yung principle applied. Okay. Question. Bakit kailangan nating gawin yun? What tells us that ganun yung solution? Okay, so actually, well, medyo obvious sa problem kasi well, both of the units are actually in inches. Okay, so inches yung isa, inches yung yung ilalim. So you can just divide them. Pero pag magkaiba yung units, hindi nyo agad gagawin ito. Okay, kailangan yung i-convert yung isang unit to the other unit. Okay, so yun yung principle applied. So makikita natin ngayon, okay, tong illustration na ito would actually help us solve the problem. Okay, tignan natin sa chat. Okay, thank you very much, Kenneth. Okay, okay. So principle applied. So tandaan na ninyo, pwede nyong i-divide ito directly kasi magkaparehas yung units. Okay? Okay. Now, okay. Next, yung letter L, yung list equation. Okay? Before natin i-convert to the same units, may napakahalagang napakahalagang point na gusto kong i-stress sa inyo. Ang sabi sa problem ay side by side. Okay, ano nga bang side by side? Side by side, okay? So, ibig sabihin ng side by side, ang kailangan mo from the bead, the atom or the circle is actually diameter or radius. Pag sinabing side by side, anong kailangan mo? Diameter or radius? Anyone? Diameter. Very good, Kenneth. Nako, bibigyan kita ng ng gold medal. Okay, diameter. Pero anong binigay sa problem? Diameter or radius? What was given dun sa gold atom? Radius. Okay, so napakalagang kailangan mo munang gumawa ng equality dito. So, diameter must be twice of radius. Ang given sa problem radius, kailangan mong i-multiply ito by 2 in order to get the diameter. Kasi side by side, di ba? Okay. So, ang equation natin is D equals to R. Okay, so this is the equation. So, 2 times 166. Okay? Picometers per atom. Okay? So, yun yung diameter ng gold atom. So, that's going to be 332 picometers per atom. Okay? Now, sa analogy ng necklace kanina, nakita natin na kailangan na i-divide mo lang sila directly pag parehas yung units. Okay? So, kailangan ang yung next step na gagawin natin, okay, we need to convert, okay, one of the units to the other para magma-match sila. Okay? So letter L, okay, nag-list na tayo ng equation. Now yung arithmetic. Okay? So again, we need to convert, okay, one of the units to the other para ma-divide nyo sila directly. Okay, so i-convert naman natin ngayon. So siguro mas madaling i-convert this should be just PM, hindi PPM. Ano siguro naiisip ko parts per million dito. This is a typo error. This should just be PM. So 332 PM, okay, per atom. Okay, kailangan nating i-convert, okay, into millimeters kasi yung thickness natin is given in millimeters. Okay? Pag ginamit mo agad yung picometers, hindi sila magka-cancel. So wrong yung sagot. Okay? So now punta na tayo sa letter A, which is arithmetic. Okay? So kailangan gumawa tayo, mag-convert tayo ng units. So anyone who knows kung anong tawag dito sa mga nilalagyan ko ng parentheses? What are these called? These are called, that's right, conversion factors. Okay, these are your conversion factors. So, and maalala nyo po ba paano natin ilalagay yung placement ng numerator at denominator? Gagawan, yung placement will actually should naturally cancel yung mga units na ayaw natin. Tapos yung unit na gusto natin, yun na lang yung matitira, di ba? That's right, dimensional analysis, very good. Naku, talaga namang ang sarap-sarap naman magturo pag lahat ng mga tinuturuan mo, lahat ng mga estudyante ay ganito mag-participate. Okay? So gusto natin ma-cancel yung picometers, okay? So by doing that, may meters sa taas, okay, sa numerator. Pero hindi naman we don't need just meters, we need millimeters. So ibig sabihin, kung yung units sa numerator hindi pa rin akma doon sa required, okay, kailangan mo na namang gumamit ng conversion factors. So kung titignan mo yung problem, may dalawang conversion factors na given doon. So ibig sabihin, kailangan mong gamitin. Okay? That's correct. Yes, the numerator will determine that's very good. Okay? Very good. Okay? So now, okay, kakancel natin yung meters. Okay? And ito, yung gusto natin na unit, yun na yung unit sa huling conversion factor. So ibig sabihin, pag na-achieve na natin yon, wala na ibang conversion factors. Okay? So 332 picometer is equivalent to 3.32 times 10 to the negative 7 mm per atom. Okay. Now, po pwede nating gamitin ito, sa next step. Pero ako, ang ginagawa ko, every time that I solve problem, may checkpoints ako. So, sinasabi ko sa mga estudyante ko, para akong police, palagi akong may checkpoint. Okay, so paano mo i-check na tama tong answer mo? So, pwedeng sabihin mo, gumamit ako ng calculator, pero I would like actually a simple check. Okay, so anong check ang that's right. Okay, so Edson, that's correct. Okay, so ang pwede kong actually estimate yung value. Okay, so paano ko i-estimate? So 332, that's actually 10 raised to the second power, right? About. And then i-multiply mo siya sa 10 to the negative 12. Okay? And then, i-divide sa 1 times 10 to the negative 3. So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-divide ka ng may power na negative sa sa denominator, magiging positive yun. So let's say, so 10 to the second, then this is going to be, pag minultiply mo, 10 to the negative 12, yung power will be negative 10, okay? And then this one, this is 1 divided by 1 to the negative 3. That's going to be 1 times 10 to the third. Okay? So, ulitin natin. So, 10 raised to the second minus, okay? Minus 12. Okay? Then plus 3, di ba? So 10 minus 12 plus 3, that's going to be negative 7. Okay, so mukhang tama. 3.32 times 10 to the negative 7. So yun yung gusto kong sabihin sa inyo. Kailangan i-inspect nyo using laws of exponents. Okay, so this is multiplication. So ibig sabihin, ina-add nyo yung values ng exponents. Okay, now balikan natin yung yung necklace analogy. So yung necklace analogy kanina, yung mahaba divided yung maliit, right? So yung length ng necklace divided yung diameter ng ng bead. So pwede nating i-solve yung problem ngayon. So ito yung thickness, 1.25 times 10 to the negative 4 mm divided by 3.32 times 10 to the negative 7 mm per atom. Okay, now, tignan nyo, yung mm magka-cancel. Okay, so kailangan yung initial conversion muna. Then this is 1 divided by 1 over atom. So yung magiging units mo is actually in terms of atom. Okay, so yung answer is 377 atoms. So anong ibig sabihin nito? So, yung paper, yung wafer thin na na thickness ng gold foil, okay, across that actually may 377 atoms. Okay? So, napaka-malleable ng mga metals. Actually, yung inspiration ng problem na to is Rutherford's, gold foil experiment. Maalala niyo noon para ma-discover nila yung existence ng nucleus, kailangan nilang gumawa ng gold foil, tapos binombard nila ng helium particles. Anyone who could remember that? So the gold foil was actually used in order to verify the existence of the nucleus. Okay. Teka, tignan ko yung chat. Yes, that's correct. Sherwin, yes, that's right. The alpha scattering experiment. Yes, yeah. So may gold foil ka, tapos binaril nila with alpha particles, which is helium. Tapos sa sides ng gold foil, may parang it's a compound of selenium ata. So nakikita nila kung may alpha particle na deflect. Okay, very good. Yeah, so talaga naman, I mean, tuwang-tuwa ako, Jeffrey. I mean, we have to make more of these sessions. I mean, I'm so blessed, I mean, with their participation. Okay. So, let's go to the next. Okay. So now, so airplane, asa na tayo? So, A, nasa N na tayo. Okay. Okay, N. Ano nga ba tong N? Ito yung tinatawag na number sense. Is the answer reasonable? Okay. So, anong ibig sabihin nito? Okay, so even though na thin yung foil, the thickness of the foil is observable to the naked eye. Nakikita natin kahit manipis, okay? The diameter of the atom is very, very small. Yung diameter ng atom, hindi natin nakikita, okay? So tamang-tama lang that there should be a huge value for the number of atoms. Bakit? Atom is invisible. Yung thickness ng foil, nakikita. So ibig sabihin, marami dapat na atoms ang nandoon sa thickness ng foil. Okay? So bigyan ko tayo ng isa pang analogy. Yung cell hindi natin nakikita, right? Pero yung tissue nakikita natin. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Maraming cells ang nasa tissue. Okay? So, ganun lang yung ano, ganun lang ibig sabihin ng number sense. So sa problem na to, hindi po pwede tayong makakuha ng fractional answer. Hindi mo sabihin sa akin na, sir, I mean 1/2 lang ng atom. No, a fractional answer is a no-no in this question, in this problem. Okay?
Sir Chester, before you
Yes.
go forward, I would just like to highlight how important this is.
Oh, yes, sure.
Number sense, and what we call this in the corporate world is funny looks test. If your answer makes sense. Okay, so mahalaga po ito sa ating mga guro who are teaching our students on how to solve problems. The reason why Sir Chester started with visualization earlier was that is a very powerful tool to also set expectations kung nasan po yung regime ng answer nyo. Anong magnitude ng magiging answer ninyo. Alright?
Thank you very much, Jeffrey. Yes, thank you. Magbigay pa ako ng isang example ng number sense. May time na I ask my students to report ano yung percentage ng acetic acid sa vinegar. Sabi ng isang estudyante 200%, sir. Pwede ka ba namang sumobra ng ng 100%? Ay hindi, sabi niya. Okay. No, ang 100%, I mean, is it acceptable? Sabi ko, ay hindi kasi pag 100% na acetic acid yung yung vinegar, pag ginamit mo na yung suka, masusunog na yung dila mo. Sabi niya, so dapat yung sagot mga maliit lang, siguro mga 3 to 5%. So this is very important, number sense. Kasi sa science, hindi lang kailangang may numero ka. Ano ang ibig sabihin? How do you interpret the number? Okay? Yun ay napakahalaga. Tignan ko, may nag-comment sa chat. That's correct. No, very good. Ay, ang galing mo naman, Sherwin. Yes. May Dalton's postulate ka pa. Okay, very good. Okay? Okay. I'm very happy today because I see that our educators, I could see the future is bright for our students. I'm very happy. Thank you. Okay. So number sense. That's right. Dapat realistic yung number. Very good. Yeah, hindi fantasy, okay? Science is always reality, okay? Now okay, so letter N, and then last yung letter E, okay? Letter E stands for examine, okay? So you check the solution again. So you need to check, tignan mo kung may nagkaligtaan ka, okay? So well, it looks like that it looks like now kung gusto niyo i-review ulit, okay? So say PM, cancel, meters, cancel, may MM ka, divided by an atom, okay? Then yung MM will cancel, okay? Atom is going to be ito yung unit. Okay, so it looks like it is correct. Pero this is very important, especially sa mga students. I mean, kung nag-e-exam kayo, ay usually kung 1 hour yung exam, may mga iba dyan, 30 minutes is submit na yung paper. No, I mean, you need to review your solutions again. Okay? Okay. Now, that is the airplane method. May addendum ako, which is the ship method. Okay? Tignan natin yung ship method, and then after that, let us look at a physics problem. Okay? So ship, okay, sail through problems. Okay, S, simplify the problem to something you know. Kailangan ito, okay. H, okay, hints, yung clue. I, invert, do problem backwards, and P, pattern recognition. Okay. So tignan natin kung paano in-apply yung ship doon sa, paano natin i-incorporate tong ship method doon sa previous problem. Okay, so simplify. Okay, yung atom napaka-abstract, hindi naman natin nakikita yan. So anong gagawin mo? Kailangan gumawa ka ng paraan para ma-visualize siya, or you simplify it to something that you use a bead, you use a circle. Okay? H, hints. Okay? So the conversion factors are there for a reason. Okay? So, except na lang kung yung teacher mo ay medyo sadista na ano-ano nilalagay sa problem, hindi naman kailangan. Naku, mga teachers na yan, kung ako ang principal, puting ko sila. Pero ayun, hints, okay, the conversion factors must be there for a reason, okay? Yung invert working backwards, I'm going to illustrate this in the next problem. Tapos yung P pattern, okay, yung necklace analogy, okay, units must cancel out. So actually, before I go to the next problem, tong pattern, very important ito later on kung mag-aaral kayo ng organic chemistry. Ang daming patterns na kailangan yung kailangan ninyong i-observe. Okay? So, pupunta na tayo sa problem number 2 kung wala kayong tanong. Before nating iwanan yung chemistry problem, someone may tanong ba from the audience before ako pumunta dito sa problem number 2, physics with algebra? Oh, ayan, tignan ko sa chat. How could you, okay. Hindi ko. So, Mikhail, so tanong niya, how should we consider the significant figures? Okay? So, yung problem, ang given doon ay actually 1.25 times 10 to the negative 4 mm. So, that's actually 3 significant figures. Tapos, yung radius ng gold is 166 picometer, which is also 3 significant figures. So, and the operation that we did is division, which is essentially multiplication. So, ano nga bang rule sa significant figures? So, yung least number na factor will be will tell us the number of significant figures. So, but you have 3 and a 3, so wala ka ng pagpipilian. So you have actually 3 significant figures. So 377 has 3 significant figures, then we are good to go. Okay? Is that are you satisfied with my answer, Mikhail? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so simple lang. I mean, the answer is 3. Okay. Okay. So now, punta tayo sa physics with algebra. Okay. Okay. So I really like this problem. Okay. So at 5 a.m., okay, so madaling araw, a Toyota car starts from Laguna. Okay. So may Toyota car ka daw from Laguna towards Batangas at the speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Okay. At the same time, a Honda car left from Batangas to Laguna at the speed of 80 kilometers per hour. So papunta din siya. Okay. Patungo siya ng Laguna. Okay. The total distance between Laguna and Batangas is approximately 80 kilometers. Well, depende siguro kung asaan ka. Okay. Now, at what time does these 2 cars meet? Okay. So, of course, ang assumption dito, baka may mga pilosopong estudyante sabihin sa akin, sir, na traffic, o sir, nasiraan, ay hindi ka, I mean, pilosopo ka, wag mong, hindi po pwedeng sagot yan. O actually, sasabihin ko sa inyo, si Jeffrey, pinuloso ako, sabi niya, ay alam ko ang sagot pag nagkita na yung driver. Ay syempre, I mean, hindi yun yung correct na sagot. I mean, gusto ko dito, at what time does these 2 cars meet? So anong oras? Okay? So yun yung hahanapan natin ng solusyon. Okay? Sige. So umpisahan na natin. Okay? First, you annotate key points. Okay, so ano nga ba yung key points sa problem na ito? Anyone? What are the key points in this problem? What are the anong given ano yung given sa problem which is sorry, I mean what is mentioned in the problem, okay? Na very critical sa ating solution. Anyone? Okay, tingin ako. Speed and distance. Very good. Okay. So, speed and distance. Okay. So, you need actually the 2 speed from the 2 cars. Okay, 60 kilometers per hour and 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, yan yung bilis, okay, ng takbo ng sasakyan. Okay, and then meron tayong distance, okay, that separates, okay, between them. So may 85 kilometers. Okay, so annotate key points. So ako, sinirkalan ko na lang. Okay. Tingin ko yung sa chat. Okay, that's correct. That's correct, Carla. Okay. Okay. Okay, next, illustrate or sketch the problem. So, ini-sketch na natin. Okay. So, Laguna, patungong Batangas, okay, 60 kph, kilometers per hour. Batangas, patungong Laguna, 80 kilometers per hour. Yung distance, okay, is 85 kilometers. Okay. Now, question. Before nating isolve tong problem, I think it's good if we are going to apply our predictive powers. I mean, alam mo, maganda before you actually solve a problem, pwede mong tansyahin yung sagot mo. So, I would like to ask, okay, our audience, okay, can you predict whether the cars will meet in less than an hour or more than an hour? Ano yung sagot? Will it be less than an hour or more than an hour? By just looking at the problem. Tingnan natin. Very good. It should it's going the correct answer is actually mas marami nagsabing less than an hour, and actually that is correct. Okay. Papaliwanag ko kung bakit less than an hour. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin ng mga values na ito? Okay? So say for example, okay, itong 60 kilometers per hour. Yung ibig sabihin nito, in 1 hour, this car is going to travel a distance of 60 kilometers isang oras. Okay? Yung car from Batangas, 80 kilometers per hour. In 1 hour, it will travel 80 kilometers. Okay. Okay, scenario 1. Okay, kung say for example more than an hour, ibig sabihin maglalampasan na sila. Okay? Maglalampasan na sila. Right? If it's going to be less than an hour, mukhang hindi. Okay? Do you agree with me? Tignan ko nga, actually less than. So mas maraming nagsabing less than, so I mean the majority got it right. Okay, so less than. Okay? Why? Tignan mo, in more than an hour, kung 1 hour, naka 60 kilometers na yung tong car na ito. Tapos ito 80 kilometers. I-add mo yung total distance. Actually, lampas yan sa 85 kilometers. So it cannot be more than an hour. It must be less than an hour. Okay? So, congratulations sa mga nag-answer ng less than an hour. Okay? So, tansya. Okay? Natansya na natin. Ang next natin na gagawin is we are going to solve the problem. Okay? Exactly. Okay? So, okay. So we illustrated it. Ano yung required, at what time does these two cars meet? Okay, so it's going to be, syempre, it should be after 5 a.m., right? Okay, so pag sinabi yung 4:30 a.m., I mean, mukhang hindi na tama yon. Okay? So ano yung principle na kailangan nating kailangan dito sa problem na ito? So, okay? So when the two cars meet, the total distance traveled will be 85 kilometers for both hours. Okay? Agree ba kayo doon? When the two cars meet, the total distance traveled will be 85 kilometers for both for both cars. Okay? So say for example, okay, ito yung distance ng blue car. Tapos ito yung distance ng ng travel ng red car. Okay, pag nag-meet sila, yung total distance will be 85 kilometers. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? Yes, okay. So Kenneth, thank you very much. Yes, you have to agree with me. Okay. Now next, isipin natin, ano nga ba ang distance? Ano ang formula ng distance? Okay? So actually, kahit hindi natin alam yung formula ng distance, okay, by just looking at the units, malalaman natin. So ang distance is actually, ang unit ng distance is km, di ba? Okay, now dimensional analysis. Ano ang imumultiply mo sa rate para makakuha ka ng kilometers? Ano? Ano ang imumultiply sa rate para makakuha ng kilometers? R. Very good. Okay? So you have an R. Okay? So cancel yung R. Meron kang kilometers, right? So distance is going to be rate times time. Okay. Now I would like to emphasize this, kahit walang equation na binigay, by just looking at the units, you should be able, okay, to determine what operations you should be using. Okay, again, I repeat, even in the absence of an equation, by just looking at the units, okay, you should be able to know what mathematical operation you should use. Okay, that's right. It's nothing but dimensional analysis. Yes, very good. Okay. So letter P, the principle applied. And then next, we are going to, okay, before ako pumunta sa letter L, gusto kong, I added this last minute. Ano nga ba tong principle na ito? And actually, this gives, I would like to present this because this gives us a general framework in solving scientific problems. Okay, so nakita natin, it starts with the text or the word problem. Okay, and then you illustrate it. Actually, yung principle na yan, yan yung parang yung hook or yung connection of the illustration to the equation. So napakahalagang napakahalagang bagay na ito. The principle, okay, will help us determine what equation to use. Okay? And then from the equation, okay, gagawan mo ng arithmetic, okay? And then you get the answer. So actually, yung math, nakikita natin yung math, ito yung red na in the broken line, yun yung math. Yung kabuuan ng science is actually the entire thing. So math is really a tool. Okay? Kaya pag nakaligtaan natin yung mga concepts sa math, ay isang napakalaking problema yan sa pagsusolve ng problems. Yes, Jeffrey, you seem to have something interesting to add.
Yes, Sir Chester. One very important element din po that I would like to add, which is, I think, at the very foundation of problem solving is comprehension. So our ability to translate text into visuals highly depends on our students' ability to comprehend. So lahat po yan sama-sama. Ayan. But I really like how you put this, Sir Chester. I really like how you had put this together.
So yeah, reading comprehension, tama si Jeff. Napakahalaga, napaka-important ng reading C. Okay? Yes, I actually believe na ito yung kasi tignan mo, I mean, kaya pag say for example, hindi na na-interpret yung problem na tama, yung illustration mali, of course, lahat na yan is wrong. Kaya tignan mo ang science dito. Kaya I would like to say, I mean, napakahalaga ng English, okay, in science. So nakita natin ang science talaga, may English, may math, and science. So mahirap talaga ang science, but it is science that's going to fuel progress.
And siguro po, Kuya Chester, we might actually engage in an exchange on this slide because I would really like for us to spend some time discussing it. So For the benefit po of our educators in the audience, sa YouTube at saka po sa Zoom, you might be wondering, why are we spending this much time going over the fundamentals of problem solving? Ano po? So, ako po, I was a student of Chester Dabalos in UP. No, seriously. I was a student in UP. Ganito po nila kami hinuhubog kung paano po kami mag-unpack ng problems. So if you appreciate all of these important steps in solving problems, kahit po siguro 3 equations, 3 unknowns, so kailangan yung gamitin the method. Madali po kasi you are able to first like understand yung word problem. Meron. All right, now Lion. So bale po, you're able to translate yung verbal problem into visuals tied up with principles. So kapag po ganito yung approach sa paghasa ninyo or pag-train ninyo sa inyong mga estudyante sa pag-solve ng problem, I bet you, kahit po gano'n ka-complex pa yung ibigay nyo, magagawa po nila yan. So this is something that our professors in UP really spend time teaching us how to do. And what we're trying to do here po sa Filipino Science Hub is to teach you how to do it, how to expose your students kung ano ba yung mga essential steps. Yun pong pag-skip nitong principle na to usually po could result in your students really not getting to the right answer, mainly because meron yung pong, for example, yung numbers principle, yung funny looks test, when do you know that your answer doesn't make sense? Ano po? Versus you're just spitting out a number. Ayan. Sir Chester, anything to add?
No, thank you very much. I mean, I could not agree more.
Yes. Kaya po nahahasa kami. And then, kapag sanay po ang mga estudyante nyo sa pag-solve ng problem this way, the next thing that you just develop is speed. Kasi natural na sa kanila yan. Kami po, umabot po kami sa punto. So, Sir Chester was also our coach in our Chemistry Olympiad team. So kami po yung mga nerd na ipinadadala, nakikipagpukpukan po kami sa mga ibang universities every year. And dumaabot po kami sa punto, sa paghasa po nila sa amin yan, yun pong equations at yung illustrations, sa utak na lang namin. Diretso na siya sa calculator. But then, the foundation, yung tamang steps ng pag-unpack ng problem, nagagawa namin siya. But then we started po with baby steps. So, ito pong tinuturo namin sa inyo, this is not just, we're not preaching to the choir. Alam po namin na yung mga guro, more likely, you know how to do this. But then, how do you really teach this to your students? All right. Sir Chester, back to you.
Thank you. Okay, so, yan. So, I really like this. Actually, yeah, I put this at the last minute na kasi sabi ko, well, ito talaga yung yung napaka-crucial na elements ng proseso. Okay. Now, punta na tayo sa list of equation. Okay. Ito na medyo maganda. I like this. Okay. So okay, nasabi natin na magmi-meet sila kung yung distance ng dalawang cars na pinagsama ay equal, okay, doon sa distance ng Laguna to Batangas. Okay, so this is the first equation. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is to expand, okay, equation number 1. So equation number 1, i-expand natin to get equation number 2. So kanina sinabi niyo na in order to get distance is kailangan ng rate, okay, times time. Okay, so I'm going to expand distance as rate times time. Okay. So pero I mean may rate times time doon sa Honda car at saka may rate times time din ng Toyota car. Okay, now. Okay, that is equation number 3. Now ano yung next na relationship na po pwede natin ma-draw dito. Okay, pag nagkita yung nagkita yung dalawang cars, yung Honda and Toyota, anong masasabi niyo sa time? Magkaiba or magkaparehas? What should the time be? Pag nagkita na yung dalawang driver, same or different? That's right, same, right? They are going, pag nag-meet sila, I mean, same time. Okay, so therefore, time Honda equals time Toyota is equivalent to X. Okay? So, sabihin natin ngayon, okay, so yung time pala ng Honda, okay, at saka time ng Toyota car, magkaparehas. Since magkaparehas, i-equate na lang natin sa X. Okay, now let's go. So 85 kilometers yung total distance. Okay? And then, okay, yung time X is in terms of X. So yung rate ng Honda, which is 60 kph times X plus, okay, yung rate, okay, rate ng Toyota times X. So 85 kilometers equals 60X plus 80X. Okay? So actually, even if kahit napakasimple tong algebraic equation na to, nakita natin, in order to get into this equation, there are 3 steps. Okay? So 1, total distance, okay, will be the sum of the 2 distances. Second, in-expand natin yung distance, which is rate times time. And then, pag nagkita na sila, yung dalawang car, yung dalawang driver ng car, parehas yung time. So, we are going, yung final equation natin is going to be 85 equals 60x plus 80x. Okay. Now, next, we are going to letter A, okay, which is the arithmetic. Okay. So 85 equals 60x plus 80x. Alam natin gawin yan. So 85 equals 140x. And then x is going to be, okay, 85 divided by 140, which is 0.607 hours. Okay. Now, sa mga nagsabing less than 1 hour, you are correct. Nakita natin, your prediction is correct. Okay. So x is 0.607 hours. Okay. Pero, yan ba yung order ng boss? Yan ba yung yung inaas ng problem? Hindi pa, kasi ang inaas ng problem, anong oras daw mag-meet yung dalawang car. Okay? So, kailangan nating i-convert tong 0.607 hours in minutes. Okay? So, 0.607 hours times 60 minutes per hour. Again, this is nothing but dimensional analysis. So, hours will actually cancel out. Okay? And then you have 60 minutes, okay? It's going to be 36.4 minutes, okay? But after 5 o'clock, hence, the 2 cars will meet at 5:36 a.m. Okay, napunta tayo dun sa sinabi ni Jeffrey na na funny test, okay? 5:36 a.m., okay? The number sense. Is the answer reasonable? Yes. Kasi hindi naman gaano magkalayo yung Batangas at saka Laguna, right? So malapit lang. So it will not take very long. Okay? So say for example, kung yung problem is say Ilocos to Bicol na ang layo-layo, I mean siguro yung 0.607 hours hindi akma, di ba? So but Laguna and Batangas are just close to each other, therefore, okay, the time must not be very long. So tamang-tama lang. Okay? So we passed the funny test, okay? Okay, and I think na-emphasize na to kanina, the number obtained in the calculation must be interpreted. Okay, palagi yan. So, to teachers, dapat ito ay emphasize. Students should learn how to interpret, okay, the numbers that they obtain from the calculations. Okay? And then finally, letter E, okay, we have to examine, check the solution again. So actually ang mahalagang part dito, gusto ko i-emphasize yung 85 equals 140x. Okay, make sure that x is 85 divided by 140. Okay, hindi 140 divided by 85. Okay, so ito ay kadalasang mistake ng mga students na pagbabalik-baliktad nila kung ano yung nasa numerator at denominator. Okay, and since we have actually an equation, okay, ang gusto kong gawin ninyo is you should always try to substitute the answer to the original equation. Okay, this is actually I would say the more accurate way of checking for the answer. So isa-substitute ninyo. Okay, so how do we do that? So yung x natin is 0.607. So we substitute the value of x in the original equation. Okay, so 85 equals, okay, lagyan natin ng question mark muna kasi hindi mo nga alam. Okay, kung equal nga sila. So 60 times 0.607. Okay, so again, R's cancels, may kilometer ka dyan, which matches the left-hand side. So 60 times 0.607, that's 36.42. Okay, plus, okay, meron kang 80 times 0.607, that is 48.56. Ngayon, i-add na natin sila. Okay, so 36.42 plus 48.56, ang nakuha mong sum ay 84.98, which is very malapit sa 85 kilometers. Siguro rounding error na lang yun. Pero this should actually tell us that we are actually on the correct yung answer natin. We are on the right track. So verify results. Very good. Thank you, Edson. Okay, the answer is high precision and high accuracy. Okay, yep. So kung may mathematical equation, the best way to prove to check whether your answer is correct or not is to substitute, okay, the values back to the original equation. Okay. Now, malapit na tayong matapos. Okay, so now i-revisit natin yung I sa ship kasi sabi ko kanina nung diniscuss ko yung ship, yung letter I I'm going to discuss it, okay, in the second problem. Okay, so okay, doon sa ship, okay, means invert. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin ng invert? We can work backwards. Okay, so how do we work backwards? So anong how can we apply that principle here? Okay, so again, Laguna to Batangas, distance 85 kilometers. Yung speed ng car from Laguna, 60 kilometers per hour. Yung Batangas, 80 kilometers per hour. Okay. Sabi natin kanina, sabi ng karamihan, it's going to be less than an hour, right? Okay. So sabihin natin na, say, what would happen if, say, for example, say in 0.5 hours. Okay, sorry, I think nakaligtaan kong lagyan ng ng semicolon ito. Teka, so i-correct ko na. I mean, baka sabihin niyo, I mean, nakakalito naman ito. Say for example in 0.5 hour, okay, dapat may semicolon ito. In half an hour, okay, yung car from Laguna will be able to travel a distance of 30 kilometers, tama ba? So 0.5 times 60, 30 kilometers. Now, yung car from Batangas to Laguna, so 80 kilometers per hour times 0.5, that is 40 kilometers. So ano yung distance nila? Total distance, 70 kilometers. Okay? In half an hour, hindi pa yan mag-limit, pero malapit na sila, right? Kasi yung pag nag-meet sila, yung total distance will be 85 kilometers. Okay. Now, unti na lang. Okay, so sabihin natin, okay, so 0.1 hour. Okay, again, dapat may column ito. Okay, so 0.1 in 0.1 hour. Okay, yung car from Laguna, okay, will travel 6 kilometer. And then yung car from Batangas will cover 8 kilometers. So bale 0.1 times 60 yung isa, tapos yung pangalawa 0.1 times 80. Okay? So 70 kilometers and then 14 kilometers. So malapit na. I mean, mga ano yan, I mean 84 kilometers. Okay, so actually, yung sagot natin na is almost 0.6 hours, I mean should make sense. So ito yung working backwards. So kailan nagagamit tong working backwards working backwards na strategy? Kunwari yung exam is on multiple choice. Ewan ko, uso pa ba yung SAT sa high school ngayon? So say for example, mostly yung mga entrance examination are multiple choices. So say you might not really need a highly accurate calculation in order to answer multiple choice. Pero kung alam nyo how to work backwards, I mean, it could actually help you for multiple choice questions. Okay? Hi, malapit na tayong matapos. Tamang-tama, siguro yung mga iba nagugutom na. Okay, so I would like to summarize. Okay, so the airplane method, fly over your problems. Okay, Asia's finance. Okay, so annotate key points. So A, annotate. I, illustrate the problem. R, required and given. P, principle applied. L, list equations. A, arithmetic. And number sense. E, examine. So tandaan nyo yan. Airplane. Or, okay, in addition, yung ship din. Okay, sail through the problems. Simplify the problem to something you know. H, okay, look for hints. I, okay, do problem backwards. P, pattern recognition. Okay, so I mean, that concludes my discussion today. Salamat po sa pakikinig, and I'm actually very grateful for those who have participated in the discussion, okay, using the chat box. I mean, natutuwa talaga ako. Maraming salamat.
All right. So maraming salamat po, Sir Chester, para po sa napaka-comprehensive na lecture on how to solve problems. So sana po sa ating mga guro at mga mag-aaral na nanonood, we hope that you appreciated like why it is important for us to teach our students how to solve problems this way. So again, all of those steps and skills that he shared, hindi lang po yan for word problems. You know, if you use it in solving real life problems, I bet you are more likely gonna find solutions. Ayan po. So we're gonna give Sir Chester siguro po a minute or two to catch his breath while I go over some announcements from Filipino Science Hub. All right? I will grab the screen from Sir Chester.
Yeah, sure. I-mute ko na.
All right. Okay, so marami po tayong mga nakaplanong mga events para sa taong ito at sa susunod na taon. So this year po, we recently wrapped up our mycology summer camp featuring a panel of world-class Filipino mycologists. So mycology, by the way, is the study of fungi. And in the session today, we also have Dr. Connie Hibas, who's a Filipina clinical mycologist based in San Antonio, Texas. And then we're delivering to you chemistry essentials. So ito po, preview pa lang to, no? Medyo madali pa tong itinuro ni Sir Chester. Watch out po. Sa session po natin sa November at sa December, he will be teaching quantitative skills as well as abstract thinking applied in the areas of, yung kinamumuhian ng mga guro at estudyante, stoichiometry, and also ang napakahirap intindihin na quantum chemistry. So ito po, soft lecture itong nakuha nyo ngayon. Mas exciting po yung mga kasunod. Filipino Science Hub will also be holding an invention workshop. So this is focusing on creativity, ideation, most importantly, intellectual property, yung mga hindi po na masyadong pamilyar sa patents and sa inventions. This is the training for that, and also we are going to be rolling out like contents on project design and management. Okay, so these are some of the things to watch out for. But then Ito nga po, yung sinabi ko kanina, markahan niyo po yung kalendaryo niyo. So yun nung nag-register po kayo para sa webinar series na to, it comes with I think like 3 different dates. So November 18th po, that's a Saturday, quantitative analysis applied in stoichiometry. And then December 16th, maagang papasko po namin ito sa inyo with Professor Chester Dabalos, abstract thinking and how you apply it in quantum chemistry. So paano niyo ba i-imagine ninyong orbitals? Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng mga ng quantum numbers? Yung principal quantum number, azimuthal, spin, yan po. He will be unpacking those. But then, ang goal natin doon is for you to learn how to think abstract. Okay, yung i-imagine niyo yung orbitals in your head. Okay, and then, we also invite you to attend next week's session. So next week's session, we will be featuring Professor Elmerico Mojica from Pace University in New York City. So he will be delivering a talk on artificial intelligence in education. So unleashing innovation in teaching, learning, and research. So it's going to be on September 23rd. That's a Saturday din po. Same time here in Filipino Science Hub. So medyo we encourage for you po to dial in early. If not, participate via YouTube live streaming kasi po kaparehas po nitong session with Sir Chester, medyo oversubscribe rin po itong talk na ito. So we look forward to your participation po in all these events. So we have a lot for this year as well as coming year. Alright.
Ako yun, ako.
Okay. So I'm hoping po that, you know, like you were able to think about questions. So may isa po akong bagay na kumbaga maiimungkahi po sa inyo. Whenever we are given the chance to interact with experts like Sir Chester Dabalos, wag po kayong mahiya. So this is also true to the mission of Filipino Science Hub. We have been building a network of Filipino scientists who specialized in different fields of STEM and practicing in different parts of the world at inilalapit po namin sa inyo. So this is an opportunity po during the Q&A for you to ask questions. Wag po kayong mahihiya kasi pare-parehas lang po tayong kumbaga Pilipino, gusto po nating matuto ng sama-sama at most importantly, maituro po natin kung ano po ba yung mga kailangang matutunan ng mga estudyante at ng mga kabataang Pilipino. Itatanong ko sana po kay Sir Chester, dun po sa 84.98 na calculation mo, paano po pag naggasolina yung isang kotse?
Sabi ko na, kung si Jeffrey ang nagtanong sa akin, hindi nauubos ng pagkapilosopohan ito. I mean, may time nga no, nag-walk out pa ako kasi napakapiloso po talaga nila. So,
by the way po, sa laboratory class po namin sa UP, nag-walk out po yan si Kuya Chester kasi either po pilosopo namin siya or nagbabasag po ako ng yelo sa sahig. So medyo wala po akong disiplinang estudyante noon. But ayos naman po ang landas ko. Ayun. Anyways, we're opening the floor to questions po. Meron po bang mga tanong ang ating mga audience members, ang ating mga guro? Ayan, okay. So, ang tanong po ni Ma'am Carla Alana Gumarang ay kung meron daw po sila, I missed like her chat. Could you read it up, Kuya Chester?
Actually, teka.
Ay, kopya daw ng presentation. So this is being live streamed po on YouTube. So you can visit po and review everything. So this is gonna be out in the public. Ayun po.
Hindi ko makita yung chat question. Hindi ko makita.
I just saw it po. I don't know, like, oh, it was directed to me. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
All right. So this is live streamed on sa YouTube. So if you go to PhilSci Hub's YouTube channel, you should be able to review po all of these materials. Magtanong po kayo. May tanong po ba kayo about the topic? You know, mag-share po kayo yung experiences ninyo sa teaching ng STEM. One of the reasons po why we started with this was since gusto po talaga namin simulan yung kumbaga portfolio of contents sa Philsci Hub na nagfo-focus po sa skills was, ang na-realize ko rin po, having experienced my basic education din sa Pilipinas, medyo dun po ako nakulangan looking back. Na, kumbaga, yung experience ko po during my time sa elementary school at sa high school was, kumbaga, yung problem solving was merely following yung established steps na, kumbaga, natutunan mo rin sa kaklase mo na nakikita mo sa pagsosolve ng teacher. But then, yung principle talaga, yung skills that you are practicing as you solve the problem, hindi po talaga siya napapaliwanag sa mga bata. So if anything po, as Filipino scientists po, like who have learned chemistry ng medyo may lalim po ng kaunti, at na-apply po namin itong mga skills na to sa pag-solve ng mga mas komplikadong mga bagay, dito po kami nagkakaroon ng appreciation na, ay kung itong mga gantong aspeto ng pag-solve ng problem ay naituro sa mga bata ng maaga, kumbaga hindi po tayo masyadong ma-intimidate when we're faced with a more complex problem. So siguro po yun yung favor na hihingi namin sa inyo. So the next time that you go back to your classes and you teach your students, let's try to spend some time po. Let's dedicate some time and effort po para mapaliwanag sa kanila bakit ba ganito yung mga hakbang sa pag-solve ng problem. Ayan. Sir Chester? Anything to add?
Actually, itong the acronym that I just presented, I made this acronym, based from my personal experience. So I didn't actually get it from a book. So may time na umupo na lang ako sa isang tabi, sabi ko, paano nga ba mag-solve ng problem? Kasi for me, we have been doing it for a long time. Parang it looks like a second nature. Pero yun, inisip ko, I try to dissect, okay? My mental process, and then sabi ko, okay, ganito. So that's how I came up with that acrostic. So actually, actually ang ginagawa ko ngayon, naisip ko lang kaninang umaga, nangongolekta na ako ng mga scratch paper ng mga estudyante who took the examination. Kasi usually multiple choice yung exam, sa Scantron, ganun na lang. Pero sabi ko, I'm going to collect the scratch paper kasi titignan ko, anong arithmetic errors ang mga ginawa ng mga estudyante ngayon. Tapos from that siguro magko-compile ako ng collection. Ito yung mga kadalasan na mali ng mga estudyante. So yeah, so I'm actually still in the process of trying to understand what is happening in the mind of the students. Kaya sabi ko nga yung figure na inad ko ang last minute, yung may reading comprehension, then principle, then math. Actually, I believe that it's what makes science, difficult. Kung hindi nyo alam yung sistema, pero pag na-crack nyo yung sistema na yun, no, science is going to be very easy. So I would suggest that pagtuunan nyo ng pansin yung process. Sabi nga nila, if the process is right, the product will always be good. So pag yung process ang pinuntiryan ninyo, walang walang lusot, magiging okay yung product. So
and what also makes this process very powerful po, if I may also contextualize it po siguro sa pag-solve ng problem ng mga students natin, darating po yung punto kapag ganito yung practice nila, they won't have to memorize equations.
Yes, very good. Natutuwa ako kay Jeffrey. Yan yung sinasabi ko. Lahat ng mga klase ko, sabi ko, ayokong nagme-memorize dito. Gusto ko yung palaging analysis palagi. Walang kabisote. Yeah, very good.
So, ang mangyayari po dyan, kapag sanay yung mga estudyante nyo to unpack problems, to visualize it, problem solving becomes intuitive. So, naturally, yung next steps will unfold kasi you know how to yung dimensional analysis po, di ba tinuturo natin yan sa general science. So, dimensional analysis. But then, medyo hindi po integrative din yung pagkaturo. Kasi after nun, hindi naman siya necessarily na-apply rin na parang, oh, bakit ba natin to ginagawa? Saan ba to mapupunta? Yun po siguro yung mga tips na pwede din po namin ibigay sa inyo, and that sana po yung assessment natin sa mga students natin sa STEM sa loob ng klase, siguro sana po it's not just about getting to the right answer, but more importantly, the journey towards the answer is actually mas mahalaga po 'yun. Kasi you can make course correction at the very end or at the very last step of that process. But then kung kitang-kita po ninyo na yung estudyante ay at random nagpipindot lang sa calculator para makakuha ng number, medyo parang nawawalan din po ng meaning yung itinuturo natin sa klase. So sana po, like as educators, we dedicate rin po as much attention and focus po dun sa kung ano ba talaga yung mahalaga. Sa totoo lang po, we won't be able to cover the entire book or the entire curriculum in 1 year. Hindi naman natin natatapos yung syllabus na yan. But then, if we focus on the skills, yung transferable skills na mababaon ng estudyante, that is actually like the biggest favor that you can do for them. Ayun. Mukhang medyo mahiyain ang ating mga audience members ngayon. Hindi, pero ito po, we might be pontificating a lot, but then, ito po kasing process na to, this is not just comprehension, paano ko ba intindihin yan, but then critical thinking rin. When you don't know the answer, but you're given information, paano nyo po ba hihimayin yan, mga impormasyon na yan, to put the puzzle pieces together to make sense of it? Ganda din po kasi yun eh. Like, problem solving also requires creativity. Ayan. Siguro start muna kami sa scaffolded exercises para masanay ang students. Very good point po, Ma'am Donabel. So, there's no point po na, gaya po nung, actually, itong examples na binigay po ni Kuya Chester, there's a reason why he picked this. For example, the gold foil experiment, I would ask, medyo bihira po sigurong maka-encounter ang ating mga guro at estudyante na ang question is more geometry, but then, ang topic nyo po is atoms. Di ba po? Medyo, may disconnect yung size regime doon na from the very small na atoms, foil, na ibabalot mo sa isang structure. May major disconnect po doon. So, may rason po kung bakit po namin ginawa yun, but then very important point po yun na, syempre po, we have to walk before we run. Ano ba? So before natin sila patung-patungan ng complex levels or dimensions yung problem, it is very important that they know ano ba yung sense niyang step na ginawa niya na ni Sir Chester na dimensional analysis, for example. So scaffolded approach, very good po. Kuya Chester?
Yeah, so actually, we were thinking, so the next na session, which is the stoichiometry, I'm going to build upon this principle. So makikita nyo na naman ulit yung dimensional analysis. So we will be reinforcing, okay? So from a simple problem ngayon then to something like more complex stoichiometry, but yung foundational aspect is the same pa rin. So yun yung parang i-reinforce namin sa inyo.
Yan. Okay, magbabasa po ako ng comments. So, kasi for some reason, siguro medyo nahihiya po ang ating mga guro, that they're directing their comments and questions po sa akin. Pero ibabahagi ko po, hindi na lang ako magpapangalan kasi baka po nahihiya sila. So, one of our audience members actually said, doble kahit po ako bilang science teacher sa public school, lalo na po sa majority ng bata sa public school, ay mahina po ang reading comprehension. Naku, napakahalaga po talaga niyan kasi that's the very first step. We appreciate po yung mga kaparehas po ninyo na nare-recognize po na ay paano ba nila masasagutan nyo kung hindi naman nila naintindihan yung binabasa nila. So Hopefully rin po, no, meron rin pong connection or collaboration na nangyayari between English teachers or, reading teachers po with our science teachers na kapag nakikita niyo po na yung mga bata ay medyo kapos talaga sila sa kakayahang magbasa at umintindi, baka po may extra effort silang pwedeng gawin sa kanilang language classes kasi may rason po kung bakit dapat konektado itong mga bagay na ito. So baka po kailangan pong i-familiarize pa ang mga bata sa pagbabasa ng mga, kumbaga, reading materials na mas science yung approach. Yung science po yung context, scientific yung context. Ayan. Okay, may nagsabi rin po dito. I agree po. Ang jam-packed po ng curriculum dito sa Pilipinas, but we really need to focus on the basic skills and critical and creative thinking. Now, yan po talaga ang kailangan natin. So again, what we're hoping that we are able to influence yung mga grupo dito is yung shift po siguro sa ating mindset na, again, wag po tayong fixated sa sagot. Yun pong kakayahan ng mga estudyante po sana ang ating tutukan. Ayan. Next, may nagsabi din po, ito may tanong. Any tips po, sir, how to solve problem-solving questions na hindi naman naituro ng teachers yung process? So, may teachers po kasi na nagbibigay ng example na madali lang, pero pag exam na, ang hirap po ng binibigay na problem. Parang ang hirap po na i-comprehend yung questions po minsan. Sir Chester, I think you're the right person to answer this.
Actually, how would I say? Noon, when I was a new teacher, mahilig ako na ang daming layers. Yung tipong one layer after the other. I mean, actually, at first, nabi ko na mukhang okay siya gawin, pero na-realize ko, not all students, are advanced that they could actually do all the different layers. Pero I would say that depende kung ano yung estudyante. Siguro kung yung mga advanced, how would you say, may parang advanced placement po ba sa high school sa Pilipinas, say AP Chem, siguro okay siyang gawin sa mga, say, mga advanced students. Pero in the basic level, I think we have to just focus on one layer, yung isang layer muna, kasi Rome was not built for a day, so you cannot actually expect students to be doing all of these multiple levels all at once. At saka ang hindi pa maganda noon sa multiple levels, yung parang yung feeling ng estudyante, they might get traumatized kasi sabi na, nag-aral ako ng mabuti tapos wala man lang hindi man lang din wala sila nakuha kasi pinagpatong-patong yung different layers. So actually yun yung comment ko doon. So there's not to solve multiple levels. It just depends yan sa sa type ng student. You cannot expect all students to be like that. Actually, na-realize ko yan lately. So this is already my 12th year of teaching. So not all students will become chemists. Not all students will become physicists. So
siguro Kuya Chester, we can also contextualize this. Siguro po sa ating mga guru sa audiences, if you're asking 10 questions, and isa lang doon yung complex, I think it should be okay. Because that's your way of also screening sino ba yung mga estudyante who has the aptitude for that. I think that is okay kung ganun yung assessment. But then, if majority of your questions ay ganoon po ang nature, then I think purpose po of assessing and motivating the student. So siguro po dun sa nagtanong nun, I think it's okay if it's just like if it's like a minor part of the exam, kasi that's also the educational system's way of kumbaga pag-measure ng aptitude. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Pero kapag majority ng tinatanong ng guro ay ganun, I think medyo kailangang mag-take ng assessment training ng teacher na yan. No. Seriously, kasi medyo hindi rin po kasi talaga nakakatulong yung ganun. It's traumatizing the students. Ako, estudyante po ako ni Kuya Chester. No, when he was much younger and energetic and passionate, minsan po dala-dalawa lang kami pumapasa sa exam. Parang ganun po yung nangyayari doon. But then that's part of the teaching journey. And he also like mentioned that, yeah, I mean like as he becomes seasoned in the profession, kumbaga may mga ganito rin pong realization. So, yun po, I think to be challenged, it's okay. But then siguro kapag po, if you're one of the students na medyo hindi nakasagot doon, I'm hoping that yung teacher mo is meron ring aperture for making clarifications, yung pagtuturo sa inyo paano ba to sasagutan, and I'm hoping na yung sagot doon mapapakita sa inyo na oy, eto medyo pinagpatong-patong lang namin yung mga basic elements ng tinuro sa inyo sa klase.
Actually, okay, so may naisip ako. At siguro po pwede yung layer na problem, pero I would like to suggest that say may problem, then dapat guided yung solution. Say may 5 sub-questions ka. Say A, parang ito muna, tanungin mo sa estudyante, solve this, okay? Then B, solve this. Tapos letter C, parang combine A and B. Parang ganun. So pwedeng guided siguro yung it's a guided question. Hindi yung tipong tatanungin mo sa end, ano yung value nito. So pwede mo, you could actually decompose it into parts. Tapos ng ganyan, ask the students. So I think, kung gusto mo talagang magtanong ng ng maraming layers, siguro i-divide mo yung question in a such a way na may say parang may levels yan para para at least maiisip ng estudyante, before ako pumunta sa C, kailangan ko munang alam yung A at saka B. So parang hindi parang nagulat ka, I mean magja-jump ka from A to C. I mean so parang make it piecewise, okay? Pwede mong i-pattern yung pagtatanong, okay? So that, piecewise. So hindi yung parang gugulatin mo. So parang ang analogy na, parang pinainom mo na lang yung sa isang estudyante yung isang galon na tubig. So pwede naman
nilunod mo, no? Wag mo lunurin. Parang konti-konti naman po. Parang unti-untiin nyo. Ayan.
Very
Okay.
good, yes.
May comment si Ma'am Richie Sabihon. So what she said was, in our school, we have differentiated remediation and reinforcement activity. We have science teachers give science-related selections in helping them to read and understand more about existing topics, especially slow readers. Ma'am Richie, ano pong school yan? Parang gusto ko pong pumasok dyan. No, but
Good morning po.
I'm glad that
Our school is Misamis Oriental General Comprehensive High School. It's a mega school of Region 10 po.
ay very good po. Nako, I'm hoping po that other regions take inspiration from what you're doing. Kasi sa totoo lang po, kahit pa po anong equations ang ituro natin sa kanila, ano pang mga sample problems, if they are not able to understand yung word problem, wala pong hindi po talaga matututo ang mga estudyante.
Yes po. It's a collaboration between Ensaima, English, Science, and Mathematics. So these are the core subjects that we tend to have a focus on kasi basically if ang student po hindi marunong magbasa, how could she or he understands the problem? Especially chemistry, it's very hard to that's one of the struggle when I'm in high school. So getting lesson from my high school. So we need to have to help the students, especially the challenge one, the slow learner. So isa po yung basic na dapat nilang malaman in order to understand a problem, especially in chemistry and physics.
What I appreciated about your answer po, ma'am, was when you look back at your high school experience, and you said that you had difficulties in the same area, but then you're actually exerting effort po para to make it easier for the students, no, for them to not be faced with the same challenges. So Sana po mga guro natin, like we're doing the same as Ma'am Richie, paying it forward to the new generation. So, isa rin pong gusto ko pong ibahagi po sa atin, science in itself is very difficult. So let's not make it more difficult for our students. It's okay to challenge them, but then before we challenge them, let's make sure that we have given them the foundational knowledge that they need. Kasi medyo unfair po iyon. Ano po? Ayan. Magbabasa pa rin po ako. So, comment pa rin. There are loopholes po sa spiral progression curriculum dito sa Pilipinas. Minsan po ay di na naiituro sa lower level ang prerequisite topics. Paano po kaya yung smooth transitions ng lots and hots? Alam niyo po, okay, I would just like to say something that is very important. Alam niyo po, ang ang mga guro po natin, I'm hoping, siguro magtatanong po ako, sino po dito sa mga guro natin ang aware sa PISA assessment? Thumbs up nga po, thumbs down, para magkaroon lang po ako ng idea. 2018 PISA assessment outcome for the Philippines. Aware po kayo? Nako, ang konti. So PISA assessment po was an international assessment po of 79 mid to high income countries, including the Philippines. Guess what po? Out of the 79 countries, ayan. O, diba? O, second from the last. So, actually, Philippines is the lowest po. Philippines is the lowest. It's second to the last when it comes to, I think, science and math. Last sa reading comprehension. And, since nabanggit po ni Sir Mikel yung HOTS and LOTS, yung higher order thinking skills and lower order thinking skills, ang assessment po nila sa mga batang Pilipino, hanggang doon lang po sila sa lower order thinking skills. So meaning, pag nagbasa sila ng science article or problem, they can associate the problem with a topic. Perhaps pwede nilang i-fit yung data sa equation, but then beyond that, pag critical thinking, creativity, how they apply those lessons in real life, kulang na kulang po talaga ang mga Pilipino doon. So, kaya po hopefully, we all work together po to improving, our teaching practice, and then para po, itong mga ganito, kasi alam niyo po yung value nung pag-interact ng kaparehas si Sir Chester sa mga kaparehas natin. One of the ultimate siguro po kasi yung end goal natin sa Pilipinas sa pagtuturo ng science is mag-produce pa ng maraming scientists. So so what we're presenting here are the likes of Sir Chester really bringing you guidance sa paano ba umabot sa ganung level coming from the basic education sector. So napakaganda po nitong conversation na nangyayari pong ito. So ayan, so may nag-message po sa akin. Actually, sir po, I also have a little difficulty on how to do that kind of strategy since it is just 2 years that I am teaching chem. I am a biology major, but I really enjoyed teaching chem now, and I am really trying to do my very best to do the kind of thing that should analyze, and actually I do a lot of collaborative activities. So, ayan po, thank you so much po, Ma'am Charmaine, if I may name you po. Alam niyo po yung mastery ng chemistry, it comes with practice rin po. So practice lang po kayo ng practice, and I bet matututo rin po kayo pag nakita niyo kung paano mag-solve yung mga estudyante. And then sa Filipino Science po, actually we have a series that's called Chemistry Made Easy. So Tagalog English po na pagtuturo namin ng subject matter. So I think we have between Kuya Chester and I, we have covered 3 or 4 big topics po sa chemistry. So check nyo po yung mga lecture namin yun. We also have some lectures introducing organic chemistry, for example, reaction mechanism. We have also discussed po yung atomic theory. Yan po. Unti-unti po namin binubuo yung mga yan kasi ito din po yung sa mga na-observe namin during the pandemic that ang dami pong mga guro na non-chemistry majors, for example, biglang pinagtuturo ng chem. Meron nga po kaming, hindi pa nga po yun yung extreme, meron pong PE major, pinagturo ng chem kasi wala silang ibang guro. So, ayan po. Check out po yung mga marami din pong materials out there po that you may use. Ayan. Ayan, analysis po ang mga questions sa PISA, not just multiple choice. So yun po, kaya po talagang kulang na kulang sa higher order thinking skills ang ating mga bata. And also po, since, like we're in the position po to make a case for action sa ating mga guro, one very important outcome po na medyo disheartening sa PISA was they tried to gauge yung growth mindset ng mga estudyante. Meaning, ang tanong, sa tingin mo ba yung talino mo ngayon or yung skill level mo, hanggang dyan na lang? Alam niyo po ba that almost 70%, more or less 70% of Filipino students believe that kung ano na sila ngayon, hindi na yun mababago. Which is disappointing kasi lahat po pwedeng matutunan. Lahat po pwedeng matuto given the opportunity. So, ayun po, nakakatawa naman itong exchange na ito. So, ito po. So, medyo lumagpas na tayo sa ating time commitment, but then we really, really appreciate po your participation. Baka po pwede kami humingi ng opportunity for us to take a group photo po. If that's okay, sa mga willing po magpakita ng mga magaganda ninyong mukha para meron po tayong class picture. Ayan. There you go. Zeus, may we ask you the favor of doing screenshots if that's okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem, sir. I'll send it through somewhere.
So Zeus is our undergraduate intern from UST. And by the way, we have like Dr. Connie Hibas po. Yeah, she's originally from Iloilo, but then now she's in San Antonio, Texas. All right. Oh yeah, so punta po kayo sa YouTube channel po namin, nandun po yung recorded. And then recorded video. And then after this po, sa chat box po, I will be sending yung attendance form. So you should be able to fill it out para po sa ating mga audience members po dito. And then I will also be sharing it po sa ating YouTube live stream. All right, Zeus.
All right. Okay. Ready? First panel, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Second panel, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right. So, medyo magsiskip lang po tayo ng Chem sa November, magbabalik si Sir Chester Dabalos, and sa December rin. But the next week po, I'm hoping that you can join us for our session with Professor Elmer Rico Mojica. If you want to learn about how you can use AI para po sa pagtuturo, para sa research, welcome po uli kayo next week. All right. So we sent you po the Google form. By the way po, please make sure that you input the right information, tamang spelling, and then we usually po generate the certificates like in batches. So give us po up to about 10 days po before you follow up. So we'll send them via email. All right. Maraming salamat po. We hope that you enjoy your lunch. Ay, may question po. Ano po bang tanong? Is there any chance po to get the e-certificate po ng previous webinar? Sir, yeah, please reach out po sa amin. Medyo nagkaroon po kami ng mahabang backlog at some point. So, ayan. All right. So, maraming salamat po uli sa inyo. And if I may just like ask Sir Chester, Mama Connie, and Zeus to stay on the line. Ayan. And we'll let everyone enjoy their lunch po. Maraming salamat.